Welcome back. It's been a while. Just want to reflect on some things for the new year. Um, as I made a video recently about the red pill community officially dying. For me personally, it's done and dusted. If anybody Aban preach killed it, and for some reason I'm grateful because one of my issues with the community was this. Um, they love to highlight issues in women. They like to highlight issues in the dating market from the woman's perspective and say woman is this, woman is that. And then you watch, for example, Fresh and Fit. You watch some of those Night Talk, I guess, or like Andrew Tate and those people. I don't really know much about Night Talk, but I'm just the main ones, Andrew Tate and the Myron Gaines. A lot of times you watch it and you feel bad. Like as I can imagine, as a woman, you feel bad um, about yourself, about you want something, you're being punished for wanting something. Um, Whether I agree or not, that's kind of irrelevant towards the topic because most things I don't agree with, I see where they're coming from, but I don't agree with most of the stuff. My main issue is like, okay, you highlight these problems to them, what is the solution? And a lot of the times, even if they give a solution, it's more of a point your finger military tyrannical approach where you feel sometimes even if the solution is actually very good, they do it in a way that you don't feel encouraged, you feel disgusted with yourself. I'm like, guys, the message is wrong, sometimes when it's correct, even if when the message is correct, it's still presented in a way that you're like, like I still don't fuck with that because I'm saying to myself like, well, I don't want to listen to what you're saying because of how you presented it. And Andrew Tate said one time, so the reason he said the things he says is because when he say it in the aggressive manner, it sticks with you, but it also makes you feel like shit. So he's aware about it. But like, the one person I'm like, yo, like fuck you, I don't like. It's Myron from Fashion Fit. I'm like, yo, those guys bash these women and they're justifying it by taking a more higher ground because they're saying do this, do that, you're bad, you're this, you're not good, you're not that, you're blah blah blah, and you don't feel encouraged. So if encouragement is not a part of their regime or their agenda, helping, like encouragement and helping, it almost goes side by side. They're not helping any woman, they're not. And if you're not helping women, what you're going to say you're going to help men, you're helping men in doing what you're doing, and not just throwing them down because of a flaw. My personal opinion about even the flaw matters because everybody has flaws. Just because you found someone else's doesn't mean you're any better than them. So just because you found a flaw within a woman doesn't mean that you have one above them. It doesn't mean that because you also have flaws. So I don't agree with the approach into the whole dating market from a red pill perspective. That's I don't really fuck with it. And I think it's a bunch of angry guys who can't get laid, can't get women, come together to feel better about themselves and just shit on women to justify their rejection and they're not being selected and favored by women because bashing women, what other reason could you do it? You're not seeing Dan Bazirian doing it, you're not seeing like top athletes do it, you only really see that weird online guys do it. And whether even if they found a flaw that is totally objective and can be agreed by most of the population, it's the delivery for me. It's the delivery. All I'm saying here is about the delivery from the red pill community. Instead of having like a theory consultation, like let's have a discussion, how can we improve this? This is our perspective. What is your perspective? This is why do you guys do what you do? Is there an answer for your like it was never a discussion. Had it been a discussion, I'll fuck with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was never discussion. It was never a moment of like, yeah, like, this is the issue we have. What's your take on it? All right, let's talk about it and come to an agreement and come to an understanding. And I think the red pill community never agree, never aim for understanding. Never. They come into discussion with a opinion, they come into the discussion with a perspective, and they plan to leave that discussion with the same perspective. Not open to change, not open to hear other people. They're just there to shit on women, and they think that, say, hey, just because I found a flaw, you guys are one below me, just one below me. So I don't really agree with that. Don't really agree with that. So that's my main issue. My other issue with the community as well is that I wouldn't want my son to watch those type of videos because it can be easily misinterpreted as tyrannical, abusive, um, yeah, things like that. Things like that. So I never like, I don't want my daughter to see that shit either. So because it can be misunderstood. It can be misunderstood. So whether their message is correct or not, whether it is correct or not, that's not my point. It can be misunderstood. Someone teaches or lectures effectively and effectively and properly because when a teacher teaches 2 plus 2 equals 4, it is said in a way that it cannot be misunderstood easily. A part of communication is to get your point across effectively and not being easily misunderstood. They are doing it in ways that can be misunderstood as tyrannical, um, abusive, or just point your finger type of approach. I'm like, even if that's not what you are trying to portray, that is what it can be misunderstood easily, and they refuse to address that. I'm saying to myself, like, my nigga, like, you know that can be misunderstood easily. And what you're doing takes more effort than to make your message clearer, better. Like Psych Hacks is one of those channels where I'm like, yo, I really fuck with that guy because he makes sure his message is not easily misunderstood. Like he goes off with his way to make sure his message is not easy and misunderstood. Myron doesn't do that. He's just like, I'm gonna go to the line as close as possible. I ain't gonna cross the line. I'm gonna go to the line as close as possible. I'm gonna create an illusion that I'm over the line, but when you come close and check it out, it's not over the line. And it's like you know you have to go to the line to be near the line. Like you have to go to the line, and that takes effort. That's my issue. It takes more effort to be weird than is it to be normal. It takes more effort. Some people are just naturally weird, but if we're able to define what's normal and what's easy understood, I think that's a different conversation. I think that's a conversation for like I go that's like what is easily understood because more and more people are becoming skeptical. More and more people are becoming like, what's double meaning? People are becoming easily anxious. Easy, this anxiety is spreading like wildfire, like LA. Condolences to people of and the citizens of LA who are experiencing those wildfires. But they didn't tend to use that analogy. But I'm just saying like anxiety is spreading very easily. Anxiety is spreading faster than COVID. So you have to put that into perspective. It's as a speaker, as someone who's speaking to the public, you have to be okay in these times. Yes, I have to adjust my message so it's not easily misunderstood. And I think no one does that. No one does that. Like people will say things, people will do things, and it can be easily understood. And people know that. Like what I can say 5 years ago or 8 years ago, whether it's in a post or a story or a status, that same format may be misunderstood in this day and age or even this year. Things are easily misunderstood. And I think if you want to be a proper speaker, you have to send your message in a way that's not easily misunderstood. And that's why these, for example, Fresh and Fit, those tape guys or whatever, They're speaking a way, even if what they're saying is correct, they speak in a way that it can be misunderstood as tyrannical, and it can be misunderstood as point your finger, you're bad, I'm good, you are wrong. It can be misunderstood as that. Yes, that's not what you intend to do. Yes, that's not what you intend to say. But please be mindful of how your message can be misunderstood. And no one wants to take accountability in how the message can be misunderstood. Well, that's it. That's my take on it, guys. I just want to recap and just say, hey, some of these things, some of these guys, whether it's feminists, because feminists do have points that are valid, and they do have points that are not valid. Red pill community have points that are valid, and some points are not valid, and that's okay. That's fine. That's across all sectors. My issue with those two communities, where I'm speaking about those two in particular, is the fact that the delivery on these messages, the rants, the all this shit is like you could have put it in a way that's not misunderstanding, because it can be interpreted as you hating man or you hating woman, or it can be interpreted as the way you may want to be interpreted, you're intended for it to be interpreted as. And no one wants to say, I said those words, but that didn't mean that. Like, yes, it didn't mean that. And what you say wasn't really wrong, but you have to be take into consideration how it can be misunderstood.